Whenever possible, the actual family members and police officials have participated in recreating the events. What you're about to see is not a news broadcast.
I'm Dave Burge. I started doing Urbex stuff when I was in high school, and it kind of became like a, I'd find a place and then like I'd get a couple of my friends together and then we'd go check it out, and we had kind of a little like circle, like we started in like our little local area and worked our way out, and now it gets to the point where like we'll go kind of far away to see something. I've done some stuff like this. I know one of my videos, I went to the abandoned Walmart in Garfield Heights, and that was like probably the most like abandoned place I think I have on my YouTube right now. I remember one time too, I went to Indiana and like I didn't know where I was. I was driving to somewhere. I remember where I was going, but we got into this town in Indiana and there was a cop behind me. We went up this hill and it was like this twisty, like crazy hill. And we get up to the top of the hill and that cop's up there already. And he's like coming back down, like chasing us out of there. And that was weird. And then he followed us all the way out of town. And as soon as we got to the line, like where the sign was, it said like, thanks for visiting, he just stopped. Scared the hell out of me. Like, probably the scariest thing I've ever happened to me in my life, like, period. I think there was one time where I thought there was somebody in a place that I was at, but I heard them, but they didn't know I was there. So I was just like, I'm gonna get out of here to avoid the whole. But beyond that, nah, I've been pretty lucky as far as encountering other people. I don't think I've ever had anybody out to do me harm, like, for being there or anything like that. There have been times where like I would get into a situation that's like, this is pretty sketchy, like I don't want to do this again just for that reason, but not like, it's never been like something happened there, it's just like I don't like how this feels. Like, you ever been to that, it's an abandoned observatory in Cleveland? That place is weird because there's a bunch of like real narrow hallways, and like the whole point is to go up to the top where the telescope used to be because it's cool and it's all graffitied up and it's like just a very odd shape of a thing. But to get up there is like, and I'm a big guy too, so like walking in like a real confined space for me is like extra bad. So I don't like that. But once you get up there, it's cool. And then you got to remember how you got out, like how to get out of there, how you got in. I remember one time there was a suitcase we found outside of this abandoned place and it was closed, and I'm like, man, I don't know what's in there. Like, you thought it was going to be something like real crazy. You open it up, it was full of old CDs. Those America Online, like, remember the CDs you used to get in the mail? It's a suitcase full of those. And this was like recently, this was like 2 years ago. Like, I don't know who was holding on to these. So that was pretty funny. See, I think that a lot of people come to a place like, especially if it's not some place that's like in your area, you'll come to a place and you'll just be like, man, I really want to get inside of here and I don't have the time to like do this the proper way. Because I've had that happen to me a couple times with like, we'll go somewhere just to get into some place and it's like, oh, like we're not going to be able to do this. And I always try to like take the time, take as much time as you can before you go into a place to determine like basically what the situation is and who you got to be worried about, because sometimes it's the cops, and honestly if you're worried about the cops, that's probably a good one if you're worried about the cops. I started doing vlogs too, so I do like a vlog about like whatever I'm doing at the time. I just kind of make videos of what I enjoy like doing. I think that I don't want to be like, I definitely don't want to just make one kind of video, because I feel like I like doing this because it's something I enjoy, and like if people expect me to keep doing the same thing all the time, I'm not going to enjoy it anymore. So I try to kind of make that known that I like to do a lot of different stuff. I've done like some stuff commercially, like I've made music videos for people. I actually shot one at the Rubber Bowl a couple months ago, and that was like a whole, because the guy I was making the video for, he hadn't been there since it had been closed, He's like, oh, dude, like, are we gonna get in trouble? Or like, nah, dude, just walk right in there. There it is. So, you know, I like doing stuff where it's like I can kind of bring all the different things I like together. Like, that's my favorite to do. Like, if I can do something that's kind of like got high production value, still involves like a place that's a little weird and eerie, and then maybe like some kind of travel's involved. And I also make music, so like, you know, if I can incorporate music into whatever I'm doing, that's like a whole, you know, hat trick for me, I guess. I've been playing music for a long time, and I think that a lot of times, like in a place like this, like I kind of get a sense like if I could set up like a keyboard in here, like have some headphones or something, dude, I could get a little vibe going. I make my own music. A lot of the stuff you hear on my channel is music I've made. I'm also kind of from the scene where like we would throw, like, if we had a place like this, because I used to be like into punk rock and shit, had a bunch of punk rock friends. We'd come to a place like this, we'd fucking drink and we'd throw a little show and like, you know, everybody come out, it'd be a great time. But that's not, that community doesn't really exist anymore. And probably for good reason, because that's like hella dangerous. Because we were young and stupid and whatever, man. I mean, we got on all right then, but I wouldn't do it now. I'd see, one thing I think too though is like, you gotta be, it's hard to be a creative person in kind of like the situation that the world is in right now. Because you want to go out and do stuff and there's like a lot of things working against you, like more than normal. And I also feel like too, since we've kind of had this break, like people got this break from like everyday life, and you kind of had a chance to like think about what you really wanted to do with your life. One thing that I have been really set on doing lately is I want to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize. I'm trying to kind of build out a business through YouTube and through some other things that I'm doing right now. But I want the YouTube to be a place where like people will come to get information about what I'm working on, what I'm doing, kind of build out that fan base. Right now my YouTube channel is Dave Burge REC. Check me out on there. It's, I don't know, I think I have like, I'm trying to upload every day, but I'm not doing that at the moment because there's a lot of other stuff going on. So, but there's definitely a couple things every week will pop up on there. My Instagram is Trusts Liars. It's TRUSTSLIARS. And that's like kind of where all my photography and like whatever other stuff is going on kind of lands over there. And I'll plug my girlfriend too. Let's Go to the Mall is her Instagram.